We've been living out of Airbnbs for 1 year. Welcome to Piggyback Travels. We're going to talk about Airbnbs today.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Francis. And
We've been traveling for a little over a year, and we've been staying at Airbnbs the whole time,
yes,
pretty much.
yeah, pretty much the whole time. We have a couple hotels and we went and rented an apartment for a little while, but overall, and just to let you know up front, Airbnb is not sponsoring us. In fact, we have no sponsors at the time, but if anybody wants
Feel
to
free.
sponsor us, contact us. Also, we've put on our YouTube channel, Piggyback Travels, a couple of videos of the different Airbnbs so you can get a look at those. Unfortunately, we're not professionals, so we don't know how to splice it in to this video for you. So you'll just have to go to our channel and check those out. But
Any recommendations are welcome.
Yes, we're starting out, but we're going to get great at this. It always takes starting low, starting small. That's what we're doing today. But we're going to talk about hotels versus Airbnbs, why we chose to stay at Airbnbs. The number one reason is finances. Obviously, the cost of hotels to the cost of Airbnbs is quite substantial. What's the cost of an average hotel room or the cheapest hotel rooms arrange, Daniel?
The cheapest or most inexpensive. There's a big difference between cheap and inexpensive. So obviously you want to stay in a decent hotel. So a decent hotel probably would run you between $45 and $65 a night. Whereas an Airbnb would be 25 to say $40 a night, again, depending on what country you're in. Some countries are more expensive than others.
And we're talking EU right now. We've been in the EU for the last year. American, obviously, hotel prices are a lot more expensive than $45 a night. But we stay away from the more expensive hotels. The more expensive Airbnbs. There are some here, but we just stay away from those.
I think you get more bang for your buck with the Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a kitchen. A lot of times you have a separate bedroom than a living area. Where in a hotel you've got just the hotel room, maybe a little desk. But yeah, bathrooms. Sometimes we've had Airbnbs that were 2 bedroom.
Right.
And a living area and a large kitchen and an upstairs. So it varies.
Yes, Airbnbs have a lot of personality. That's one of the main things I want to get across is the culture. You get a real true experience of the culture, and we get to go grocery shopping if since we're cooking most of our own meals. Of course, we're chefs, so we cook a lot, but we do go out to eat some, and especially in Italy, where the place.
That's one of our favorite things to do is go grocery shopping.
Yes.
Once we get to a new city, you scope it out. You look on your MapQuest and stuff to find out where the nearest grocery store and all that. And because it's too hard to travel with food.
Right.
Of course, we do. We have our own spices and stuff that we bring with us. Just because we don't want to buy it every time we move.
And we'll have videos on cooking as well in Airbnbs. This is our first video. Just an overall view of Airbnbs. I used to be a person who didn't. The thought of an Airbnb kind of made me feel a little weird being in somebody else's house, but they're actually very clean. The host will rate the guest, and the guest rates the host. So if you stay in an Airbnb, you get rated, and you rate the host. And don't think that, okay, if they give me a good review, I'll give them a good review. It doesn't work that way. You don't get to see their review until you give them a review. So the reviews are very accurate. And I want to go over what to look for when searching for an Airbnb. One of the things that I look for when we're searching for an Airbnb, Daniel finds the locations. He looks for prices, obviously. Some of them are located near public transport. So if you don't have your own transportation, it's nice to have an Airbnb that's close to the public transport so that you can get, to and from the public station to
or walking distance to
Yeah.
a store or to nightlife, whatever you're looking
Yes,
for.
whatever you're looking for. And then I always like to read the reviews because the reviews get very specific. They give you details like if the bus station is how many, meters away it is from the house, and they'll give you really good information. The reviews will tell you, oh, the host was very accommodating. They'll tell you if there's no windows, so the place felt like a dungeon. They give you the reviews are real important on Airbnb.
And like any review, you take it with a grain of salt.
I mean, you read all the reviews, but some of them will give you specifics, and then overall you'll get an idea of what you're going to be staying in. But you also get pictures when you're picking out the Airbnb. They have to post pictures of the place. Sometimes pictures can be deceiving. That's where the reviews come in. But we always look for price, then we look for location, and then we look for reviews. And that gives you all the information you need. And then you get reviewed by the host. So if you're not a good guest, they're not going to give you a good review. So what happens if you leave the place a mess, you're going to get a bad review. And then the next Airbnb may not let you stay there because they've read their reviews, the reviews that the host gives you. So you want to do a good job. Our motto is leave the place as clean as we found it. If we can, even better. That's how we do it. We leave it even better if we can.
Right.
So that's kind of what to look for. You're going to save money. You're going to get more value. You're going to get a better feel for the culture because you're going to actually be staying in places where the people that live in the place that you're at live. A lot of times the Airbnbs are apartments, so most of your neighbors are permanent residents and you may be the only foreigner there. So you get a real feel for what it's like to live in that place.
Well, they give you when you're looking, they give you a list of amenities. So like if you're in somewhere like Sweden, you're going to be looking for heating, obviously, Wi-Fi, because we all depend on our Wi-Fi now these days. You know, private bathrooms. Some places have a shared bathroom. You kind of for each property they give you a list of things that, and we've learned to look for certain things: oven, stove. Sometimes even a washing machine, dryer, drying rack. And a heads up is if they have a lot of stuff for, nothing against kids, but if they have a lot of stuff for kids, playpens, high chairs and stuff, then you're probably going to get that
diaper smell.
That diaper smell. We've experienced it a couple of times. Not too bad. Not too often, but a couple of times.
90%, 95% of all the Airbnbs we've stayed in are very super clean, super nice. The personalities are awesome. There's been maybe 2 places where they had a little smell from the previous people that had been there that had like a little diaper smell.
Diaper smell.
But what we did is buy candles, and that got rid of the smell. So we've been able to overcome anything. They do have standards on Airbnb, and most of the Airbnb hosts do keep the standards. And like I said, you get to rate them, so you get to review them. So if they're doing a bad job, you're going to read about it from the reviews, so you don't have to stay there. But also, like I said, the host will review you. So if you've been a bad client, then chances are you're not going to be accepted by the next host. So you want to do a good job and clean after yourself and keep it the way you found it. Be respectful, and everything will be fine. And everybody has a good time. Most of the Airbnbs we've stayed in, we've actually had our best memories of all of our travels have been from the host, because some of them have invited us to their homes and actually given us hors d'oeuvres and homemade cocktails. And Some of them have gone over and above what they're not required to do anything for you, but some of them are just really friendly people, and you get to know people this way. And they've invited us to their homes, like I said, and also they've given us rides. Some of them have given us rides to train stations, some have given us rides to ferries, and they usually provide you with maps and brochures so that you can find your way around the city and know where to go. It's just real personable, as well as saving money, and it's got a lot of personality and culture benefits. So we recommend Airbnbs. It'll save you a lot of money, and you'll have a better vacation for it.
So thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
This was our episode 1.
Episode 1.
We'll get the bugs out, and it's good to see you all.
Anybody who wants to help us out, we welcome help.
And
you know,
we look for us again. Ciao.
Bye. Ciao. Ciao.